Uh, Bounty 25, open mic. The link's in the right-hand side in case anybody would like to join the show. And let me go ahead and introduce everybody from, I don't even know what order. I guess I'll do it clockwise. Kenny,
Hello, hello.
Ben,
Hello.
Mike,
Hello.
Two Doors,
Hello.
and Aussie. I guess not. He switched computers right before the show, and I'm not really sure what his status is at this point. So,
He's out cleaning up the koala pee.
yes. Yeah, need to get his shots after that. So, does anybody want to talk about Bounty, or is there anything anybody would like to start the show with?
Why are there PvE prizes in Bounty? Why are there really good PvE prizes in Bounty?
I do not know. I mean, my only speculation is that we will see them again next week and or the following week, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense. Somebody's not muted their tubes. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah. So that's the only reason I can think of, Ryan, or Two Doors, or
And it's weird because if they're coming out the next couple weeks, we're just going to get them. I mean, it's not like maybe if this is the only time they were offered, but even then, that's not really a thing that PvE players should really be competing in. Yeah, we've got a fleet of breachers or whatever, but you still got to have the skill to use them properly and know where to hit with them.
yeah, and maybe that's why they did this. Is they're releasing the breachers to force people to do it to get the PvE stuff, and therefore they no longer have an excuse because you can grind away with single breachers on the targets and get a fair amount of points. Maybe that's it. But a lot of people are just opposed to Bounty in general because of different reasons. I don't like it because I really hate the way the bubble is set up. Some people need to take a couple extra Xanax to hit a player's base. There's different reasons why people don't like it, but it is supposed to be a PvP event, and yeah, why are they releasing PvE stuff inside of it? That's a good question.
Hello.
It's probably pretty obvious. The bounty numbers have probably been dropping dramatically, and they're trying to get people back into it.
Yeah, but do you want to upset them at the same time? Maybe.
Well, when has Kixeye ever really calculated the upset factor of doing something?
I think they did for a while, and it's. I don't know if it's related to. For the last 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks, we're even out of the shadow of the old Kixeye ownership having anything to do with the stock price or the valuation on the sale of the company. That ended on 9/31 as far as money that's been made. So I don't know if we have a lot of new people, and
I think you're being a purist, though. You're used to the way things used to be. The reality is they want somebody in all 4 of these weekly things, and they gave everybody a fleet that gets everybody the ability to play in this event, and they'd like to get everybody in. It's not too nefarious. It's just
No. But I'm not saying. I'm sort of saying the opposite. That it's not nefarious, and I agree with what you're saying. But a lot of people have been recently saying, "Oh, well, they're doing this because they're for the sale at the last, trying to make money at the last minute." I'm just trying to say that's, as far as I know, that was supposed to be the end of fiscal year 2019, and I think this was still negotiated when the company was based in San Francisco, so we would use the U.S. laws. I don't know. Two Doors probably knows the different fiscal years in all the local countries.
But the philosophy of no PvE
I mean, you can pick. You can pick your fiscal year if you want. It can be October to September if you want.
Okay. But isn't that the the norm in the U.S.?
Normal is typically normal for a lot of people is calendar year. The governments run July as the start and June is the end.
Hmm.
Some retail, as far as I'm aware, run it where they tack on January and maybe even February. So February or March is your start and January is your end, so you can fully account for all of your holiday sales in a single fiscal for, I don't know, tax purposes maybe.
Okay. Alrighty. So, Aussie, are you back?
I hope so.
Okay. Very good. It's a little bit of a rough transition.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know if you got my Soggy. I'm not sure if you got my message on in game. I sent you a message about 45 minutes ago. So if you did, let me know if you're interested. But I think if they release it in the Halloween event or in Pillage, I think most people would do this upgrade or refit using tokens that they probably already have that they've accumulated through raids or whatnot. That would be my assumption. So yeah, I saw some people had 45. That's I don't know.
They just want to get us to try it out, test it for them.
Test what for him?
It's a new weapon for the Goonie.
Yeah, I guess so. It seems like it's just going to provide more of an alpha hit, and because the survival, that's like we talked about on the Wednesday show, the survival really isn't going to do that much because we were mostly taking ballistic damage unless they do some real retuning of the targets.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that would be the worst outcome because that's what I thought of too. They are eventually going to become our base part targets, and when they do, are they going to be tuned for the flag and 5 chips as they're normally built, or are we just going to need to have this gun, which all of a sudden gives us 20k radioactive? If they slip some radioactive damage into the UAVs, for example, just it's not good enough to all of a sudden have everything then built and driving perfectly. You also need to have this other tool that you needed to get, which was a limited prize, which can be difficult to attain in another hull's cycle. It's too much.
yeah, but the other thing to consider is the fact that most of the time, are we seeing S targets as our map targets? We're usually seeing like the 80 level targets as our map targets. So now that we've sort of, our 80 targets are not really showing up, I'm wondering how they're going to do that transition, because the 80 level targets are actually the, the previous raid's S target. So I guess it's the 60 level. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they do the map target transition after they've made these changes. But yeah, it would be rough if we only had we had to deal with all the damage on the 5th ship again.
I can see it though.
I wouldn't like that.
Yeah. I mean, it could be some weird outcome of the 2-month cycle. Because we are in the 8.5, so we are seeing the more advanced hulls at this point, and the more advanced. Maybe we'll see the older targets with, maybe we'll see the tier 8 targets but we'll be able to use our tier 8.5 hulls. I'm not really sure how that will work out. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I may completely leap topics for a second, the VXP targets, the 121, 122,
Yeah.
they seem to have a lot of turrets, both in count and health. And I'm wondering if that's a sign of things to come, where you have more turrets in something that's normally been more ships than turrets. You'd remember the last ones with the giant floating things with 4 turrets on them. How
Yeah.
there were a lot of ships. And not so many turrets, but they were still there. It just seems like this one has shifted the other way. I'm not sure if that was for ease of ranking or what, but it's an interesting choice on your secondary damage special, whether you want the high velocity rounds of penetrative or the siege targeting for.
Yeah, true. And but usually by the time that those targets come to the map, we've had many opportunities to get refit tokens pretty easily at that point in time. So that one special difference probably isn't all that important. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I ran with a split of each just to test, but it did seem a little weird how many turrets there were in that target.
Yeah. And the targets were interesting in how different they were from each other. And I guess one's going to be the auto target. The 121 would be the auto target, and the 122 would be the driving target. And my ships weren't well developed enough at that point to realize if, like we saw in the last Dragoon raid, does auto mean you can do it without controlling, or does that just mean that you're going to get automatic damage? And it felt like they're upping the automatic damage in order to have an auto target, which I'm not a huge fan of if you're required to do both of them in order to do a set.
Yeah, because it's 2 different builds then.
Right. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Mana Core 2.0.
Oh, and what are people doing on their Peggies?
I have
I'm-
4 blanks.
I'm doing sync drive, pick your best battery. I don't have a pen battery, so I'm doing the Assault MK Com or whatever it is. Range extender, and I only have 3 of the limited ones, so I'm doing 3 and 1 advanced optical. I've got the other building damage one. Some of it is Siege 4, some of it's the high velocity runs for pen. I forget the name. I don't care. I forgot about precision strike warheads, the limited one from the FM drops, but I've got enough of those that I can put that on there.
Mm-hmm.
My 6th slot is going to be Hyper 30 for the time being.
Yeah, I've put some thought on the Hyper 30 because I'm guessing, because I was torn between just putting Evade on my 5th ship from what we've seen in the last raid and just use GS3, Guidance Scrambler 3, and as opposed to just getting a 30% evade bonus, get the 49.58, whatever it is, at R15, to provide you greater evade on that 5th ship and use an additional damage special on the 5th ship. I mean, I'm sorry, ships 1 through 4. But in regards to the explosive battery, if you're short of them, personally, I might wait. I don't know. It depends on your situation as far as tokens and whatnot, and how close do you think you're going to get to a final build. It wouldn't surprise me if we do see something like penetrative battery and pillage.
Yeah, probably. And we've got an extra week too. I had kind of waffled a bit on some of my ships. I need to fix one. I had a crit build going, and as fine as it looked, I'd rather have the speed of Hyper 30.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a bit of splash damage survival in there now, just in case. Projectile speed too. It's just nice.
Yeah, currently I'm thinking about, not to go through all the details because I don't think I've worked them out for myself, but I'm really tempted to make my fifth ship. Again, I haven't seen enough of the target, and if you do the TLC that's out there, Son of Poseidon, you'll have I don't know, close to 5 or whatnot Pegasus build tokens, and some people have Assault and Tier 8 Assault and other tokens like that. I'm tempted at this point to put the Turin on my fifth ship along with the 2 new missile armors on it, assuming the fact that we're going to see all fifth damage, all the accuracy-based damage on the fifth ship.
So you're not looking for a flag to come out?
I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But I'm not going to put that as my fifth ship.
Well, you can't.
They won't let me.
Yeah, right. I was just wondering if you were building more and thinking about. Never mind.
No, I'm building
I
for
would build
right now. I'm building for 4 ships right now. The ship in the 5th position,
Okay.
1 through 5. The ship in the 5th position. I was thinking about just completely doubling down on the missile armor and the evade.
Yeah, you're talking like for the final raid kind of thing, the final build,
Yeah.
right? Or
No, the fifth ship has
yeah.
always been
ready to
the
get
one getting picked on, and the fifth ship is usually
yeah.
better to build differently.
Myself. We'll probably get the flag in one of these events, and
Yeah, we should be getting it not next week, but the following week in Pillage.
Yeah. So save some tokens. Kind of what I'm hearing.
Well, I wasn't talking about the flagship, but you
Well,
were.
when I started talking about the 5th one, that just turned me into, okay, well, we don't have a flag, and that's why I asked the question. And
Okay. What I'm saying is I expect that we're going to get a flag in Pillage, if not in this Halloween event. Because the Halloween event sort of throws things off. So, yeah, my question, I was more talking about once we actually get to the raid, that I'm going to have leftover Pegasus tokens, and I'm going to have leftover Assault build tokens that I can make a quick change to the 5th ship if I'm doing that wrong, where I've gone completely missile.
Yep, I follow you now.
Okay.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I see a lot of, that's real similar to what I'm thinking about, Lego. I'm not really, the Prometheus missile system, I don't think I'm going to put personally on all of my ships. I think I'm going to create one ship with either, that's the confuse, something with higher accuracy on the 5th on one ship, and I'll make sure to put 2 MDS3s on it, because if you look at the Galea versus the Prometheus missile system, the Prometheus missile system has a little bit less range and 10% less accuracy, while the Galea has 10% more and has a little bit more range, so they should fire first. So I'm thinking about having a semi-countermeasure ship with higher accuracy and a little bit more range. I'm not sure how much that's going to help me. It's really going to depend on the evade of the missiles that are coming at us. But yeah, besides that, looks very similar to what I'm thinking. Besides that one change for the 5th ship.
Yeah, well, my
I gotta
fifth
go
ship's
see you
got
later, guys.
galley.
You heading out, Brian?
Yep, see you around.
All right, have a good one.
Good luck, have fun.
My fifth ship's got the Galea on it.
Okay.
Because that one I'm putting 2 MDSs on. The others might only have 1 each. I'm not sure yet. I've got a spare spot still to decide what I'm going to do with it.
Is it just me, or is this the first time we've had way more possibilities than ever? without knowing what to do.
It feels like this every time.
No, but it feels worse this time because there's so many choices.
I don't really. I mean, besides like how you might use your armor and your CICs, and then a couple different changes in the specials, it doesn't. I don't know. Personally, it doesn't feel all that different.
How come
The
some,
bothersome thing is we
some
don't
people?
know how that targeting is going to act. The targeting, I mean, on our ships, like that fifth shift deal.
Well, if they changed it without making any announcement,
hmm
people are going to be really pissed off. Because if they change the whole mechanics on how accuracy is worked on our you know, yeah,
In the-
people are going to go ballistic. Yeah.
So you're expecting it because of past experience, then?
They've been doing this for, I think,
Yeah, a long time.
it used to be, I think it happened when we had the bat rays. And because people were complaining that it used to target the first ship, and then all of a sudden during the bat ray raid, it moved to the fifth ship where the accuracy damage showed up, and right around that time. And so because people didn't want their flag to be the one that was getting killed.
Exactly. I do remember
Yeah.
that conversation, but there was a piece of me that always thought that was like they didn't really intend that to happen. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit, or not enough. Or
One question I have, Hefe, we were talking just before you got back on, is one ship going to lead when you're hitting a turret, another one when you're hitting the ships, or are they going to be so packed together that there's no point in having a high corrosive one leading sometimes and a high pen the next? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't know whether the driving is going to matter.
Yeah. It's too hard to tell at this point. And
because you could have two missile ones and two corrosive ones, like on armors on 4 and 5. Like you're doing 5 with penetrative, but 4 with corrosive, so that when you're up against the turrets, it might lead in first. I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard to tell without really seeing the targets. I mean, my ships were relatively undeveloped when we started. And Chuck, yeah, I know that the hull only allows 2 CMs, but I was thinking to have, from what we saw in the VXP targets, the missile turrets fire 3, so I'm thinking a slightly better chance with the 2. And then the stonefish only appears to fire 1 at a time. So that was more of my thought. That's why I called it a semi-countermeasure ship, because yeah, it only has 2 CMs. Because the Prometheus missile system also provides the additions for critical damage and chance. So you'll be losing damage, but only on the one ship. And again,
We don't know what the flag's going to have.
Exactly.
You know, they might turn around and stick more on that one.
How come nobody's using? I've seen builds, but nobody seems. You guys, none of you have mentioned the assault engines as opposed to the other ones. I've seen builds with assault. Some reason.
They're slower. They don't provide as much survival. They're it's a good solution if you don't have one of the pen drives. It's because it is unlimited. So yeah, if you don't have any remaining or corrosive sync drives is what I meant to say. If you don't have any remaining sync drives, and I've gone with 5 corrosive sync drives because I never really built the Saturns, and so I don't have any use. I just have the free Saturns from Kixeye. I built the NEMS and I was just hoping that would be the way to do it.
Yeah, well, the problem is you only get 10
Yeah.
pens, and they're usually on your Praetorians, and if, like I say, people built Nemis, they'd probably put them on that.
Yeah, yeah.
So you've either got to strip them off and hope you don't need them again.
Yeah, and our expectations would be that corrosive is usually not an accuracy-based weapon. So by using the corrosive, you are getting more survival on what would be considered the larger number of ships.
Yeah. Well, also, plus you're hoping to shoot down as much pen as you can.
Yeah.
So, you can't shoot corrosive down. So try and go more corrosive. That's my thought anyway. Wasn't
there one raid where we could with the mana cores? But yeah, normally that's what I'm saying. Normally, it's a splash weapon, but we had some weird things going on in that mana core raid. So, and again, I put the link out there. I'll put it out there in case anybody else would like to join, participate.
Yeah, got room for one.
Well, we got room for 5.
Yeah, but
so if you on your 5th ship you were going for penetrative, how come you didn't switch to pen on just that one ship?
Because I don't have that many.
Oh, you would have though. The 5th ship.
Well, I'd say
number 5 would have.
It provides a little bit of balance because what I'm saying is I'm going to use the CIC and the 2 armors. So it's not, again, we haven't really seen the target. But if it was sort of like what we saw with the Dragoon, where we were getting, at least personally, I was getting almost all my damage on the 5th ship and minimal damage on 1 through 4. So,
yeah. And they'll probably do that again.
Yeah.
I hope. Yes.
Yeah, Lego's stripping down his NemX. So I guess once these are done, is there a reason that you would think that you would still want your NemXs around? What would be can you think of a use of the NemX if you got your Pegasus built and upgraded and all that good nonsense?
Suppose not.
That's a good point.
I mean, I'm not, I'm throwing it out there as a question. I can't personally think of one. I think is, so don't everybody strip off your, melt down your Nemesis, because I just can't think of one at this point. Is there something inherent in that ship? It does have more range.
Yeah.
And it doesn't do as much damage because I put my Nemesis in the VXP target to clean up some ships, and I took a couple hours of damage taking out 5 subs with my Nemesis. I mean, I probably could have drove it better, but it does have a range advantage because it doesn't have the -30. But beyond that, the mines, and I don't see, maybe the mines would come into play in certain targets, but is there I can't think of anything inherent with it because they're both tier 8 hulls, so there shouldn't be a point in time where they're excluding the Pegasus from a target but allowing the Nemesis to show up.
So it's every bit as good as what we're building now. So it wouldn't be, you'd have almost 2 similar fleets, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I'm not. Well, I'm asking a question. If anybody can find a reason.
Well, if they're similar, in
yeah, and I pointed out the differences. The differences
right.
In range and the mines, and then you have that slowdown field.
Yeah, I'd use the 8.5 every time if I could.
Yeah,
if it's allowed in.
Yeah, unless they come out with something like that. What was that TLC with the it only allowed icebreakers in base race?
Oh yeah,
yeah. I still haven't melted down my icebreaker yet because of that.
Yeah, I've still got
I'm
mine.
like, oh, okay, I should melt them down, but I'm like, maybe they'll bring base race back.
You never know.
It is getting about that time of year where we need the build tokens out of it. OP12 should be coming soon.
Yeah, and I'm wondering how much is that. Yeah, but we haven't seen the point, because I brought this up a while ago. We haven't seen the point where you can use base parts for everything. This is a brand new team, but previously, about 3 months before the transition on the OPs, you were able to use base parts for everything. Upgrades, whatnot. I don't know if this is a whole change that they're doing, but yeah, we should have been able to do this months ago. And I'm wondering if, with all the stuff they're doing with the transition from Flash to HTML5, they're a little afraid to be running all these things together. Let's get the HTML5 out there, and then we'll make some of these larger changes. I don't know. They could be completely unrelated, probably two different teams. But my only guess would be that the overlap would be in the testing of both of them. So,
What testing?
yeah. Yeah. You got to get busy. You're the tester. So they're very inclusive that way, allowing us to do the testing. So does anybody want Kenny to hit anything? I don't know, because he did too good of a job on Wednesday with his free Kixeye dreads.
It's the fan vote.
Yep. If anybody has any idea, is there any? We could. It would be mean, but we could ask him to look at the metal leader in his world and try and go hit his base. But that's probably not. It's probably not going to be too productive for him in the long term.
Actually, Chuck offered me to hit his base, and he's in alpha. So isn't 18 is 18 in alpha?
Yeah. 1 through 20 is an alpha.
All right, Chuck, you could post your chords. I can go visit you.
Yeah, well, not sure where he would put that. Well, I guess everybody would know where he was if he was posting him here. Well, not everybody, but
At least 36.
Well, yeah. Well, by the time it's done.
Yeah, by the time I type them in and go to them, everybody will know.
Oh, once you do that, and boy, oh boy.
Unless he goes backstage, and then you can type him in.
There you go, Soggy Mango. That's what we wanted you to come on for, Soggy.
Yeah, that's why I wanted you to come on and walk us through. I don't think.
They only got 5. Got room.
I don't think Kenny's going to get that done from what I heard. It's he's about 2+ hours. So.
Yeah. I still haven't finished them yet. They're in my side project when I'm not racing the FMs. I still haven't got all the armor on all of them.
That's an incredible time, Soggy.
Yeah, maybe you could tell us. Maybe you could tell us about his build.
I don't think it's his build. That's why I wanted him to walk you through the. That's why I asked him earlier. Well, I don't want to put pressure on him, but that's why I asked him earlier to sort of walk us, demo it, and walk us through the logic behind some of it. But the thing is, the target's going to disappear in a couple of weeks. But in the meantime,
Soggy's just got major stage fright. That's all. He's not.
He was on last week's show. So I don't know.
Chuck is saying he's now near the 16 North Relay.
There you go.
Okay, he's moving closer to you.
I could jump up there and look for him.
No, you don't need to jump because you're in 18.
No, I meant I can relay tower between
Okay, yeah. I'm saying you
8
don't jump
to
your base.
16 north
Send,
and drive around and look for him. He can't be too far.
send a gunboat.
Less than 8 minutes?
Less than 8 minutes. Holy mackerel.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. So, let me know if you find Chuck. Do you know Chuck's base name, or are you just going to look for his full
No,
name?
Yeah. The other thing I could do is somebody suggested hitting the TLC.
Yeah, if you want to. It's a little
Dry.
We want soggy.
Yeah.
Come on, Soggy, get on here.
I don't know what dry on Android means, but I guess he's communicating to us.
Sounds like it might be on his phone or something.
Yeah. If you can get 10 minutes or less on the 131 driving with your phone, that's impressive.
Oh, there's Chuck saying AJ. While you guys are talking, I'll go try and find him.
Okay.
I don't know what to hit him with, though.
I think I get a couple of hours or more. But I don't use pictures or crews. I don't even know what crews are.
Yeah. So.
Okay, well.
He's down at the pub.
Ah.
He's not going to be able to drive from there.
I'm just jumping to that assumption since he's listening to us via phone. But while Jeff's trying to scare that up, is there anything else we should be talking about? We talked about the Pegasus. The TLC seems fairly easy for the Saturns. I mean, it might be instructive for people, you know.
I personally would like to see it, but that's just me.
Okay, yeah. Which, yeah.
Because I have Saturn Fleet, but I don't drive it well. So if Kenny knows how to drive it well, he might learn me something.
There we go. Okay. Does anybody,
because I think I did like
it's not normally Kenny's job to drive well, but
Well, actually, took no damage in the entire.
Well, that's why. I mean.
Okay. Yeah. If you took no damage, look, go ahead and do that.
His job is to die.
Well, then you can just sit there and let something kill you to death. But kill you to death? That's a good
Kill
one.
you to death.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it's the underground mountain brown that's got me here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit like waking up dead.
Yeah, or the time you got electrocuted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah. Still here to talk about it.
So I'm looking for AJ somewhere near my base or near that tower.
Or you can hit the TLC. It sounds like the TLC people.
Okay.
At least Mike wants to.
If you have more people in the side chat that would like to, or in the chat that would like to see it. I mean, Mike just doesn't know how to drive them, and I would like to see a demo.
Does anybody want to see?
Anybody else? If it's only me, don't do it.
Yeah, I just think if he drives it properly, it could take a while.
It's not terribly long.
Okay. Yeah, because the way I drive it, but again, I'm a NEM driver, so this is my first time driving Saturns.
And that's kind of my problem too. I have more experience with the NEM, although I don't drive them real good either. But Blankenberg, I do have the required fleet.
Whoops, wrong ones.
I just don't drive well.
So do you need the NEM and Saturn with flag together to do the new TLC, or can you just do the Saturn plus
Oh,
flag?
it's a question. I thought he was just making a statement.
Yeah, well, and then there's Soggy saying mastery is the challenge of the TLC. I haven't got to that point yet.
I believe that.
So,
well, the problem there is probably that there's 7 encounters in only an hour. Would that be right? I would think that's
that
the
could
problem.
be it. and
Doesn't give you the time to.
so for price, like it's probably you definitely don't need both fleets for prize pack 1. Or, I haven't gotten to the mastery yet.
You probably don't need it for prize pack 2 or 3, but I would think when you get to that 7 level.
Yeah, well, we're right here. We're yeah. So I guess like use NEMs for the first 4 encounters, then use the Saturns for the last
Really?
3. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll say I have 2 Saturn fleets now, thanks to Kicks. So
Okay.
that makes it a little easier because you don't have to repair one of them. I'm ready to hit. I shared the screen.
Stems for the first 4.
Yep.
Even
Okay,
that
this
one
is-
has the
This
2
is the second
colors.
prize pack.
Okay.
And under great 6 levels to it.
And once you get to
We
prize
won't hit all 6 on the show, but
Yeah, Liga says to finish the mastery, he had to use both fleets, the kick-size Saturn and his U3 Nemes. He put 2 Pegasus in their place.
I'm in the target now. You got me.
it'll let you do Pegasus.
Yeah, I'm sharing. Oh, there we go. We're finally seeing
There,
it.
it's finally up. Oh,
Oh, this is the easy one.
Yeah, your
Even
screen.
Kenny can drive
a lot.
this.
You went blank.
Yeah.
Black screen.
You don't see anything?
Nothing.
Nope.
No, just the black screen.
Well, you see the top.
Yeah. What was the actual? Anything below the menu where it says play and discuss and whatnot is all black for us.
Okay, let me try the other share, like the entire screen, and see if that improves it.
Okay, we see half of it right now.
Yeah, and I'm going to stop the screen sharing, start it again. I'm going to try a different mode.
Okay.
See if this helps, just out of curiosity. Okay, so now you should see the show screen.
Whoa!
Yeah,
That mirror
and the 3D. Okay, is that helping it? Whoops.
That's better.
It might work this time because you got
I'm showing
the whole
everything,
screen.
including the midget porn. So
All right.
Okay.
I think you got it this time.
There we go. Yep. There we go.
okay, good.
Good.
That worked. Okay, so I'm going to go in the target again. Every time I hit that hide button,
There you go.
Okay.
Good job.
the fog isn't there when you first start. It's a little scary. You're like, oh,
That got me when I first went. I said, "Where's that damn fog?"
yeah. I'm like, they took the fog
They
away.
changed the fog. Do you notice that?
No, I don't. Oh, there's a couple
They
extra.
changed it, actually, I think they made them like these rounds. Because
See,
remember, we were having trouble.
just telling if you were in it or not.
Yeah, I think they did something to it
Yeah.
because this does not look like the raid target did.
Yeah, it's a little black, like
Mhm.
dark.
They're like
like dark.
circles.
It's like smog now, and more like circles. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a bit boring.
I don't know. So okay, so why didn't it shoot at you? When I do that, I get hit from the ghost crawler.
Oh,
It didn't go
I
into the
killed
fog.
it before it got in the fog.
So that's my problem. Is I use I've been using the flagship as Hefe told me earlier was the wrong thing to do.
Well, it doesn't matter which one is the.
Flagship as the
Yeah, it does. It
one
does
that is kind of the leader, not the leader, but the
Why?
It
For
has
the
more
guy.
power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't get hit. So
That's why you killed it so fast, though.
I don't use the. Oh, you mean the flagship hits harder? So you're,
Right. You're not using the flag as a decoy.
which means the other guys are doing the killing. Yeah.
Yeah. So the flag has got so much more power.
Well, also the ghost crawler got within the aura of the
That ghost crawler went down fast. I don't get that.
because of
See how quick? Look at that.
yeah, it was because of being in the aura of the flag.
Exactly. I'm understanding that now. Yep.
That's
It'll be interesting to see how these stonefish or whatever the hell they're called go away. Yeah, now see that's incredibly different than the way mine do it. So it's very important, I guess, not to use the flag as your decoy.
And this one has extra defenses and stuff because that's why he's got a different skin. The decoy's the white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Say that you'll get in trouble.
My decoy has more armor.
And I think I'm a little more.
And my number
penetrative or
5
something.
ship.
So,
But it is a bit like watching paint dry. But
I know, I'm loving it myself.
Okay, so that's everything except.
Still got 2 stonefish.
You probably got 2 stonefish still coming at you up at the top, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I think you may.
I will bet you there's 2 stonefish.
There's 2 more in there somewhere, but I'd go get those.
I guess I'll find out the hard way.
But you're doing the right thing. No, you go up to that right side and kill those or burn out those.
Yeah, the funny thing is the Kixeye fleet doesn't burn them out, so anybody that tries this with it,
because it's not U3.
Yeah,
mine does. Well, it's probably because I got the U3 on them.
Yeah. Oh, there they are. You were right.
I told you so.
How did I doubt you?
How could you doubt Ben?
I don't know. It's just an illness.
Do it.
How can you doubt me?
Never.
Michigan State's going to beat Ohio State.
Well, I hope so, but
In his dreams. He's already lost the first round of this. I let one of those gold
you
guys
screwed up and you hit that doggone.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter. They hardly damage you anyway.
Yeah, but I wanted to instant repair. Now I won't.
No, you still have instant.
Yeah, I'm liking this. This is cool.
Yeah, hopefully somebody else in
you
the
could
show
just,
is getting something out of it.
You could probably just put it on auto now. Oh no, you got another.
Yeah. Just speed things up though, even though it'll take a little bit. No, man, screw it.
No, I don't. You don't need to.
See if I can do this with 0 or like under 5 minutes.
Yeah. I'm telling you, you don't need to. So.
I never know which purple guy releases what ship, so I avoid this one too.
Always. I avoid them all. So my favorite microbrewery that does craft beers looks like they're in trouble for some reason. It might be going out of business. I don't think they'll go out of business, but might be a premium on Founders.
Who's outside in the wind?
It's not me. Somebody's got a mic problem.
Issue.
Is it me?
It isn't me because I'm hearing it quite dramatically here, and I'm not moving at all. Somebody's mic is scruffing up against their shirt or something.
And my mic is on top of the monitor, so not me.
Just hit the S key.
Yeah, now you can. Let's auto that bad boy now.
Yeah, it looks like I'm under 5 minutes.
You are the man. That's good.
Of course, they get harder. The 5th one actually.
I think it's Encounter 3 that has the dual
Yeah.
ghost crawlers. That's the one I want to.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
5 minutes, 31 seconds.
Bro.
Ruh-roh. Ah, screw it. I'll
Go back to the base. Go back to the
All right.
base.
We're going to bore everybody.
For 31 seconds? Shit.
So, I don't know. Anybody got any good stories to tell?
Underground Mountain Brown. Try it. It's good. You'll love it.
Yeah. I'm afraid to Google it.
No, it's a craft beer.
I know, it just sort of
It's really good.
it sounds like it could have other meanings.
I could show it on camera, but it's good. It's really good.
Cool.
And it's
Well,
11.9%. It's good.
alrighty.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, the main reasons to do this TLC, if you already own all this tech, is
You got to get those tokens.
you don't got to, but
Well, I mean, that's why you would want to do it, right?
as far as the mastery round for players that already have the tech, we talked about this earlier. Is owning the limited special, the roller barrel bearing, is it worth it? What are you going to put on it at this point? As we talked about earlier, the Nemesis is sort of getting superseded directly, it appears, by the Pegasus.
That's what I hear you saying.
Well, I keep on posing this as a question, and so yeah, that's my question. Is there a reason?
I mean, it kind of makes sense unless they do something funny on a TLC or something.
Well, except for this would be the first time, and I would recommend it not to do it, is to not even make it a tier restriction. It would be a haul restriction, which I think a lot of people would get upset with something like that, where you're just like, oh, you have to use this exact haul, as opposed to this is open. So,
See, this is where I have a trouble. Where it went away so fast. So you're right, Hefe. That leaving that flag in the group there immediately takes care of that ghost crawler.
yeah,
100%. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a different way to run it than you would run the Nemesis.
Oh, that's perfect. No, that would be it's going to make a huge difference.
Also, you have to get it on the right angle. I've been risking it a bit to go faster. But if you get it to go through the edge of the circle instead of straight at.
That's completely different than the way mine performed because I used the flag as the decoy. And it's the wrong thing to do.
Right, but you don't even get fired at.
Watch, you got the
yeah.
you got the stonefish coming.
Forgot about him.
I
have
think
a lot of countermeasures on this guy, so he'll shoot down most of them.
I think it's a stonefish. I'm not sure.
Yeah, stonefish.
Okay.
A stonefish. That's more than 5 minutes on him, though. All those missiles evaded my countermeasure.
Yeah, but that's still pretty good. No, that's all right. It's great.
Who's having that problem?
We've been trying to figure out who's.
You're gonna have to mute people one at a
It's
time.
not me.
Mike, I don't think
Because
it's.
I can hear it.
And I can hear it too. So
I can hear it. Does that matter? It's
Ben,
not
can you hear it?
that means Ben. Can you hear Ben? Can you hear a mic?
He's muted himself, or
No, I muted him.
I think it's Ben because I can hear it. Mike can hear it. Jeff can hear it.
Might be
You can hear
his microphone is rubbing his shirt or something,
We've got a bad connection.
or something like that.
Yeah, it sounds more like the connection with his computer.
Lovely.
Any more coming? I always forget.
Henry's
Yep, there he is. The late arrivers to the party.
Yeah, those guys always kind of show up when you think you're out of the woods. That's great.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about as far as Lego's post. How would people think about if they just, the Nemesis is a tier 8 haul, and and then the Pegasus is a tier 8.5. If they restricted not just inside of the tier, but just a particular haul, that would be the first time they did it, and I just don't think people would react well to it because we don't know what we're supposed to melt down anymore if they do things like that. And it takes a lot of strategy out of the game if that is what's if they do something like that, and so it is Ben's mic. We have an inside word. So, but I guess are we blaming it on TJ? Are you doing something to his mic? So we'll see. We got our investigative reporters on this one. So I don't know. Does anybody else have any questions in chat? Because I know this could be.
Like watching paint dry.
Ben's back again, isn't he?
Yeah. So,
And then the good old auto now. Although sometimes I put that other countermeasure ship in front so that it always fires its first.
So yeah, if anybody has any questions in chat, because I know this could be a little dry. I find it a little dry doing it. So yeah.
The problem is the Saturns are so slow. They seem to take forever to get anywhere.
Even though they have the decent engines. Well, that was an exciting little segue or segment there.
Mm-hmm.
PP3 is the one he wants to see, and after that, you can probably move on to other things because it's a long.
No, it'd be a
No,
good
I think you're good. I saw the process. If you're talking about me as he, I just
Oh yeah, but it was the third level that with the two different attacks coming from two different directions.
coming. Right.
Well, what I'm saying is we probably don't have that much to talk about,
Oh.
but we can keep on talking if we have things to talk about, and you can keep on doing this, and people can watch and whatever else we want to talk about. So yeah.
The cat wants
Control
to
that
comment.
pussy, please.
What? Yes. So do we have? If anybody has any questions in chat, or welcome to come on the show if you have any other questions, because for those of us that have done this, it's
Kind of boring.
yeah, but it's informative for other people. But yeah, if we can have another layer of questions and answers and conversation on top of it, that might make it
Tolerable.
Yeah, a little less dry. So
Somebody can tell jokes.
yeah, probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
That's a baby joke.
We didn't bring a comedian into the show yet.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get I'll put the link out there for Half Centaur. If you want to show up, here's your chance.
This is the tricky one where you get two of them coming from two different directions.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like prom night.
That
Usually the right-hand side one I take out first, because that one seems to get there a little bit faster.
Where are they? There's one up there. Oh, this one doesn't
This
have.
one only has one. It's the next one we're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This one's tricky in that there's not a lot of kill zone when it drives by. You think he'd tell his buddies as he drives by, "Hey, he's over here.
Yeah.
Hey, look, right here. Come on, follow me."
Yeah, they do seem to have limited bandwidth as far as communication. When I do this one, I actually go up to that next
Speed
cloud.
things up a bit. Yeah.
Well, I just have more. I can get a better angle. You got better angles up there than here. Yeah, this one, after I killed a couple of things, I actually did use the shift key and created waypoints to go and uh, kill those ships in the back using my Saturns, and then left the room and and went to get a beer. When I hit this target before. Hey, Stormcatcher, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Okay, very good.
That didn't sound very positive.
It's not very convincing.
No, that was very schlep rockish.
What are y'all showing right now?
Oh, the TLC. This is encounter 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing encounter 3.
Oh, I was doing the Turrets of Terror of Elite.
Uh-huh.
I did
What? Why? First, explain why you're doing
uh, just something to do while my fleets are repairing.
that. Okay. Yeah, because I didn't see a reason to do it at all personally, so that's why I wanted to throw that out there in case there was a reason that some jewel you found in there for whatever your level is or whatnot.
Well, after I got done doing stage 3, they said supposed to get 2 of the cold snap rockets.
Mm.
For some strange reason, I only got 1 of them. Oh well.
Okay. Yeah, because the only thing that I could benefit um, would be the building tokens, but I don't have any real reason to get the build tokens at this point in time. I haven't even claimed in the FM for months because everything I have is built.
On the Sun of Poseidon, I'm up to the Mastery Pack,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm probably going to try to run it sometime tonight because I need the rapid roller bearings, and I'm kind of glad that Prize Pack 2 have 5 surgical strike warheads because I only have 1 for my build, and I was going to save that for my flagship.
Uh-oh, somebody's going to get in your cloud.
Yep.
Oh.
This has not been a perfect run.
No.
I tried to save some time by hitting the purple tower. That was
Yeah, that was a mistake.
a bad idea.
Yeah.
Because those the guys got there fast enough to. I got about 8 minutes damage there.
Yeah.
Oh well, I'm just gonna let it go with the rest of the hits with whatever damage I've got. Because at the end of the day, you just care that you get it done, not anything else.
All right, we've been going for an hour. Is anybody out there in YouTube world want to see the end of this? Let us know. And if you have any other questions, yeah.
That's the reason why I kept that free Saturn fleet because of the TLCs. I can always tag team with them if I get down a certain amount of damage. Throw one in, get it while it's repairing, hit with the other one.
Okay.
It's a good idea. Is everybody tired of watching paint dry yet?
Well, I haven't gotten any response.
That's because they're all asleep now.
Yeah. It's possible, or that these people haven't caught up to this part of the show. I don't know.
I think I'll do what he said. I'm going to pull out my Kicks fleet and see how well I can do PP5 with the Kicks fleet. Because even if it's half dead, I don't care.
Well, I've also been upgrading them here and there, so
Yeah, have you done any upgrades on these, Jeff?
No, this is the vanilla.
Okay. Yeah, I got the Kicks fleet, and then I didn't have to spend any time, but I upgraded to U3 just with the available, raid upgrade tokens and whatnot. So mine's all at U3.
Just
The only,
remember,
but the build has stayed the same.
just remembered I didn't start the repair for the when I was docking for a bit.
Hmm.
In pillage, was the last pillage garrison and siege, or was it garrison and assault?
Garrison and Siege.
All right, because I got word the next one is going to be garrison and skirmish.
Garrison again? Come on.
Really?
No, keep the garrison in it.
Well, I'm just surprised, and I don't think the problem is your actual microphone. I think it's the fitting on your computer, how it's hooked into your computer.
That's what it sounds like, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like it's not. Is
Make
it?
sure it's pushed in
It's
all the
using
way.
USB or is it
to start.
3.5?
Here's the tricky one.
USB. Is that any better?
Okay, yeah, it's just. It sounds like there's
Bad connection.
something crossing wires at some point.
All right. Is that any better?
Well,
Nothing
we don't know
yet. Nothing yet, but my guess is you can't move.
Right.
Well, yeah,
No,
yeah,
still there.
it's still going on.
Trying to figure out what the best way to avoid getting hit by one of these two. This one does get me once in a while.
Well, you can move over closer to the one.
I always take the right one out first. I go right to the edge over there, a little bit lower, and then take one of your decoy up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go right because there's a ship in the cloud, and it will trigger. And the one on the right, will get to your Saturns before the other one does. And then go right over to the wall, and then get ready to go into the cloud, so the other one turns around. No. Go the other way.
No, I'm just making sure.
Okay.
That-
So
Oh,
you heard Garrison.
You went too
I
far.
turned too soon.
No, you turned too
Yeah,
late. You mean?
Too late, because he's in your
Yeah.
private
That's
area.
why I said go down so you're close to the cloud, so you can get in before he gets there. Now the other one's in the cloud. That's it.
Yeah, this is demonstration of how not to do it.
Kenny
Kenny,
lives. Kenny lives.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone upwards. I would have gone close to the cloud so you get into the cloud quicker.
Oh, this is my favorite. When it goes off the screen, you can't see it.
Oh, great. Yeah, that's always.
Well,
that's always
yeah,
good.
but don't go back to the cloud and then lure him.
Yeah,
in.
threw him back down. Yeah.
Yeah, don't play his game. Make him play your game.
He had a sliver left on him, so I.
Okay.
And this is my extra fleet, so I'm going to go back to the other one in a minute anyway.
Oh, yeah, yours. This one doesn't have the U3 though.
No.
Oh, now it's
So I'm kind of suicidal.
It is new, yeah.
That's the reason why I said I was upgrading him some, especially the flagship.
Yeah, for burning
the
out these
flagship
things.
is the most important with the with that aura. Yeah, that's definitely the most important one. You can leave the rest of them at U0, but you got to get the flag to U3.
Yeah, I'm taking a beating here.
Okay, so Ben, you said we had your inside sources are they running for somebody have their okay but they said garrison and
Yes.
okay,
It's getting bad.
yeah.
He needs a new mic or something.
He switched over mics. So what I'm thinking is it's something I would try a new USB connection if you have an extra one on your computer, it sounds like something is loose in the connection.
Whoa! All 8 of them launch at once with this.
Yeah. That's why when people, if you have the U3, you go in there and you kill all those ships before they get launched, and you use the U3 corrosive aura to take them all out.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, nobody else wants to join the show, and it's Garrison and Salt or something potentially for pillage. So we'll get Garrison again, I guess, which doesn't really make any sense. But
I like Garrison.
well, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying
Yeah, I know.
it doesn't make sense. You
Yeah,
know,
because
It's time for a new one, is what you're saying.
a lot of people are going to be trying to do pillage on top of that, still trying to do their FM. That's kind of hard to run those together.
well, yeah, but they've been running it for 2 months. The reason I'm saying is they've been running everything through 2 month cycles, and if then now they're going to keep it for a third month, how are we supposed to, because we talked a lot about, okay, well, Garrison's dead on pillage because everything runs in 2 month cycles, but now it's running, if this is true, is running for a third month. And how are we supposed to plan? Because they are different builds.
Yeah.
One is one's more reliant on the FM build is more reliant on building damage, and the pillage targets are more reliant on ship damage, and so there's some changes and some specials, and I don't know. It's become really hard to read the patterns because it doesn't appear that they're there.
Garrison and Siege.
That was last time.
Garrison and Skirmish.
Okay, so they're going to bring, yeah. Okay. Did you stick it in another place?
Yes.
And it seems to be working.
I hope so.
Okay, so the problem's not your mic. The problem's that USB port.
All right.
And I think the reason why, I don't know why they put them in bounty, but these new weapons for the dragoons is because when they make the last couple of raids, they made brand new A targets, correct?
Mhm.
If anybody remembers right. So that's probably the reason why they are put this weapon out. But like I said, I don't know why they put it in bounty. Not happy about it, but yeah.
Does anybody hear an owl in the background?
That's my
Yeah, I don't know what the hell
snoring.
that is either.
That's my cat snoring.
Something's going
Can you
on.
hear it?
Okay, it sounded a little bit like an owl. This, ooh, ooh. So okay, I guess it wasn't an owl. So yeah,
We got
Chuck
some
is
weird
saying
stuff going on
Garrison
today.
and Skirmish kicks Robinson Biggins confirmed the other day. Yeah. So
No, it's back. It's still making that noise.
yeah, it's still there. So
Might
I don't
be-
have anything else, and I'm not sure if anybody on YouTube is dying to see how this ends.
I know it's a riveting experience, but
Yeah, I don't know. We can let her keep on running,
no, it's all right.
but
All right. I'll talk to you guys later. This is annoying me.
It might be his mic wire.
no, he's coming through 2 mics. But we can talk about that on the after show. That's one of the reasons I was suggesting that we could do a little troubleshooting at that point in time and try and figure it out, because it's hard to figure out the sort of issues without somebody on the other end of the line. I don't see a lot of votes to keep going. So we will see you all on Wednesday, if not before. And we will be talking about the Halloween event and see what we need associated with that, because we're going to have we skirmished last time with the big green boats. So, but I don't know what's going to happen this time. So, because it's been gone for a year, so you have to assume that it's changed. So, anybody have any parting words?
No, not really.
Nope.
Okay, alrighty then.
See you Wednesday.
Okay,
Later, everyone.
Thursday in my.
later, people.
But
Night all.
Laters.